Tonight, an early start for families across Sydney. Santa delivering the goods while the real Christmas heroes got to work. Home alone, COVID forces thousands to spend the day in isolation as cases continue to soar. Back together just in time. Emotional reunions at the airport. The Boxing Day bargains begin. Sales kicking off early with shoppers set to spend big. And Australia drops a selection bombshell ahead of the Boxing Day test.
This is 9 News with Lizzie Pearl.
Good evening. It's been a tough year for so many, but today was a day to celebrate, and Sydney certainly came to the party, turning on an absolute sparkler. The Christmas Day excitement started early in households right across the city after the man in red did his best to put big smiles on little faces.
As the sun rose in Sydney, so did the kids. But when their faces light up like this...
Who's been?
It's worth the early wake up. Ringing out from homes everywhere the most wonderful sound of the year. And right on cue, the chaos that comes with a mountain of gifts. There is nobody busier than a toddler on Christmas morning. All the toys need testing out to make sure Santa's elves have got them just right, which they always do. And the surprises are priceless.
Oh my gosh, and a monster truck!
The big man in red spotted landing his sleigh on the children's hospitals at both Westmead and Randwick.
Santa's list. Sophie. Lucas. Michael. And on the naughty list, no one.
And gearing up for a visit to those who needed a little cheering up.
Jaden, can I see what you got? What is it?
Wow!
Bedside deliveries bringing some magic to the wards.
Hello. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you. What's your name? That's a beautiful name.
To help put a smile on the dial of Sydney's sick kids.
Merry Christmas.
But the real angels are these men and women who man the wards even on Christmas Day. In this city, there are a few open invites.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
The Wayside Chapel put on breakfast.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Cheers.
A party that spilled into lunch.
Christmas is about people, and sharing your love with people, whether it's family or close friends or even strangers.
The Wesley Mission did a picnic in Hyde Park, and at Ashfield, the festivities were in full swing.
In Sydney, there are a few Christmas traditions quite as special as this one. The Exodus Foundation's lunch, where everyone's welcome and where Santa has a gift for all the kids.
Now in its 50th year, but the past two have looked very different.
Just 2 weeks ago, we're going to have a big party here with everybody all around and everything, and we've had to change on a sixpence.
COVID conscious but not cancelled, and with this many mouths to feed, lucky there was some high profile help on hand.
Today, some 2,200 people will get a meal, a hearty meal with meat and veg, turkey, chicken, ham, as well as vegetables that they wouldn't get access to otherwise.
Mother Nature dished up perhaps the most necessary gift of all, clear skies, so we could take our celebration into the open air.
Merry Christmas!
So whether it's your first Christmas or you've got a few under the belt, we wish you a Merry Christmas, because after the year we've had, this is just what we needed. Liz Daniels, 9 News.
Not everyone was able to be with their loved ones today, many spending Christmas alone, COVID forcing thousands into isolation. Case numbers hit a new record, more than 6,000 people infected in the past 24 hours, with hospital and ICU admissions continuing to rise.
They're two faces of a very different 2021 Christmas. Chloe Eldridge and Jake Winterton, both isolating and away from family.
One of my friends, he came down with COVID and I was with him on the weekend. And pretty much straight away I got tested and I was positive.
Locked in her room, Chloe's family on the other side of a door, missing out on the festivities.
I think with the numbers growing, I wasn't that surprised. Like, I thought it was just inevitable. It was still surprising when you get the results right before Christmas and New Year's.
Jake Winterton is confined to his city apartment, also missing out on the usual family gatherings.
I had really bad chest pain Sunday night that kind of made me think maybe I should go to the hospital because it was a bit abnormal. And then when I got there, they said I had a slight fever that I didn't realise I had.
Fully vaccinated, he has still developed COVID symptoms.
And I think I got it from going to see Spider-Man Friday night because that's the only place I went by myself and no one else around me has got it.
COVID-19 bringing new meaning to family Christmas gatherings this year.
Merry Christmas!
New South Wales recorded another 6,288 new COVID-19 cases in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. last night. That's 39,000 cases of coronavirus in this state in the past 2 weeks alone. 388 are in hospital, 52 in intensive care, 14 of those on ventilators.
We continue to see mostly unvaccinated people admitted to ICU.
Almost 150,000 braved the queues to get tested yesterday.
Please get tested and stay at home if you have even the mildest of symptoms. Do not visit friends, family or go to social events if you are unwell.
But getting tested continues to prove a challenge. A number of testing clinics were closed today. Those that were open were inundated. This was a kilometres-long queue at North Ryde at 8 this morning, adding up to a 3-hour wait even then. And while the sands of Bondi were less busy than usual at Christmas, the testing clinic was again doing a roaring trade. At Mona Vale 2, Proof, an open clinic will attract a crowd eager to be tested. There is another common sight this Christmas, a particularly troubling one. Business after business forced to close as their staff are forced into isolation at what should be one of the busiest times of the year. Across the country, COVID cases also continue to rise. 765 in Queensland, 2,108 in Victoria, which has suffered 6 more deaths. And amid the gloom, some are still trying to remain positive.
So I should be out for New Year's Eve, which will be nice. So yeah, definitely celebrate with the family and make up for the last 10 days.
And while our Premier was due to take leave for a week, his advisor, the Governor, otherwise deciding to stay on deck instead. Another Christmas plan, it seems, cruelled. Eddie Meyer, 9 News.
For Sydney's 2 million Christians, today held an even deeper significance. Worshippers packed into church services and watched online from midnight, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ.
Illuminated on St Mary's Cathedral, 3 wise men following the Star of Bethlehem. Below, the faithful gathered.
Today, in the town of David, a Saviour has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord.
The traditional midnight mass commencing Christmas celebrations across the city, delivering a message of hope.
God said to all the sick, confused and alienated, I'm there for you.
This morning at St Andrew's Anglican Cathedral, it was a capacity crowd, 3 chords and some Yuletime rock and roll. A number of COVID cases among staff forced Hillsong to broadcast their services online only. No matter the denomination, millions of Christians in Sydney were united by one reason.
The reason for the season is not just a little corny sort of saying. It carries meaning.
In a year of lockdowns, congregations have been kept apart. Worship has often been done in solitude. Today, the joy of being together once again was the most precious gift of all.
We've missed each other and it's sapped the life out of us.
Great to have you back. God bless you.
James Wilson, 9 News.
Plenty of long-awaited reunions at Sydney Airport today, with loved ones touching down from all over the globe for Christmas. Those travelling domestically were holding their breath as we continue to see flights cancelled due to COVID-related staff shortages.
A Christmas wish come true.
Mother and daughter reunited at Sydney Airport after 2 years separated by closed international borders.
There's been a lot of attempts and, you know, everything backfired, but lucky we finally made it on Christmas Day.
I don't believe I'm here, actually. Oh, I'm so happy. Merry Christmas, bless you all.
Reunions all round at Sydney Airport today. Travelling on Christmas Day, all worth it for those long-awaited hugs. Many of them years in the making.
Almost 2 years since 2019. My daughter was actually born last year, so they haven't had a chance to see our daughter, and the borders open again.
Finally in the arms of loved ones, but unfortunately not straight home. International passengers queuing here for their mandatory PCR tests. They must self-isolate until returning a negative result. Over in the domestic terminal, tensions were high. Passengers just hopeful their flights would take off, with COVID-related staff shortages resulting in more cancellations.
It's been terrible. With all the Jetstar and Virgin flights cancelled to Melbourne and Brisbane. Anyway, hopefully this will be okay.
A deja vu of last year's Christmas. Here's hoping next year the COVID chaos is in the past.
What would be your Christmas wish for next year? To go back to normal and have a normal life. Be able to travel without wearing these masks all the time.
Grace Fitzgibbon, 9 News.
A man has died in a jet ski accident in the city's south. The 35-year-old's body found today after an overnight search.
The waters of Sydney's south glassy and bathed in sun, but cutting through today's perfect conditions, a team of searchers on a grim path, finding a man's body just before 11 o'clock. The 35-year-old was on a jet ski around 7 last night with two mates at Burrinea Bay near Port Hacking.
Something has happened to that jet ski who has been travelling at speed.
Witnesses didn't see it crash into anything, no other boat or object involved, but the impact was severe.
There was a violent turn from that vessel which catapulted all three men into the water. The driver of the ski was hospitalised. He suffered a punctured lung.
The 44-year-old's other passenger, a 39-year-old, left with minor injuries. Investigators drug and alcohol testing both.
Police say there was one thing separating life or death: a life jacket. The 35-year-old didn't have one on, and that's prompted a safety warning for all of us, even on a day like this.
I've been doing this job for 30 years, and every person I've pulled out of the water wearing a life jacket has been alive. If you can't swim, don't go in. If you can't operate a boat correctly, safely, operate it very slowly.
As summer ramps up,
it's busy out there.
Yeah, it's busy out there, yeah. It's busy. Yeah, it's choppy and busy.
Police around the country promising they'll be out there too. Ruth Wynne-Williams, 9 News.
A swimmer is missing after taking a swim in a dam in the state's central west this afternoon. The 42-year-old was in the water at Ben Chifley Dam in Bathurst just before 2 p.m. when he failed to resurface. A search for the man is underway with the assistance from Police Rescue and the New South Wales SES. A fourth teenager has been arrested following a stabbing at Wayland near Blacktown earlier this week, which left a 40-year-old father dead and his son in hospital. The 19-year-old was charged with a fray after the three teens were arrested for their alleged involvement yesterday. Aussies are tipped to spend up big on bargains in the post-Christmas sales. Billions are expected to go through the tills, but it's come with stern advice for shoppers: set a budget and be COVID safe.
The Christmas paper is off and the dollar's stashed. Now Australians are preparing to spend big once more. 69% of us hoping to snag a bargain this Boxing Day.
Well, we're expecting a Christmas spending bonanza. Business confidence is up in New South Wales, consumer confidence is up in New South Wales, and our economy is roaring back to life.
As the Omicron outbreak wreaks havoc on Christmas plans across the state, many retailers have returned to old ways of trading. Bonds, The Good Guys and Pillow Talk, just some of the outlets ramping up online sales early. Meanwhile, those wanting the full shopping experience will get the extra time to do so. Myer in the city will open at 7 a.m, while David Jones will open even earlier at 6. Westfield Parramatta will open at 8, while malls in Liverpool and Bondi will open at 9 a.m. and close at 6 p.m.
On Boxing Day is such a special part of the retail calendar. Now we're so excited to welcome customers into store
with our fantastic offers across every floor of the store and, of course, online.
The Australian Retailers Association predicts shoppers will spend a total $4 billion nationwide on post-Christmas sales, 2.9 in-store and a further 1.2 online. It's prompted an urgent warning from banks, reminding shoppers to set a budget, especially when using a credit card or pay later service, and also from retailers to stay safe.
The safety of our team and our customers is paramount right across David Jones, and our team have been super supportive. We're finding our customers are feeling very comfortable in stores, but customers are tending to shop in store less often.
Go out, spend your money, but do so safely. We'd encourage people to wear a mask. We'd encourage people to check in when they go shopping.
Isabella Evans, 9 News.
Queen Elizabeth has delivered a particularly poignant Christmas message, devoting her annual address to the legacy of Prince Phillip, who died in April. The British monarch revealing she still feels her husband's presence, especially while preparing for the festive season.
From the grounds of Windsor Castle, where Queen Elizabeth is spending her first festive season without Prince Phillip, the 95-year-old monarch delivered a Christmas message tinged with sadness.
Although it's a time of great happiness and good cheer for many, Christmas can be hard for those who have lost loved ones. This year especially, I understand why.
The Commonwealth sovereign devoting much of her televised address to the memory of her husband.
For me, in the months since the death of my beloved Philip, I have drawn great comfort from the warmth and affection of the many tributes to his life and work.
Her Majesty's message particularly personal this year, including decades-old footage of the Duke of Edinburgh enjoying family Christmas celebrations. The photo in the foreground shows the couple's diamond wedding anniversary, and the Queen is wearing the same sapphire chrysanthemum brooch she wore on their honeymoon in 1947.
As much as I and my family miss him, I know he would want us to enjoy Christmas. We felt his presence as we, like millions around the world, readied ourselves for Christmas.
2021 has been another turbulent year for the British monarchy, with the ongoing pandemic, the Queen's health issues, Prince Andrew's court case and family divisions. Queen Elizabeth chose to reflect on her 4 new great-grandchildren and the pride she feels that Prince Philip's legacy continues.
I am proud beyond words that his pioneering work has been taken on and magnified by our eldest son Charles and his eldest son William, admirably supported by Camilla and Catherine.
Next year will be the Queen's 70th year on the throne. Her Platinum Jubilee celebrations start in weeks. William and Kate revealing the changing times. The Duchess of Cambridge hosting her own carols concert at Westminster Abbey. A display of the modern monarchy as Queen Elizabeth holds to tradition.
As the carol says, the hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. I wish you all a very happy Christmas.
The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight.
In London, Curry-Ann Greenbank, 9 News.
Many would argue it's the best view in Sydney, but usually you'd have to take it in from your car window. Well, that's all about to change tomorrow when the Carl Expressway closes for a major festival. The details next. Please explain Sydney Council's order to come clean about soaring waste collection fees. The UK's COVID explosion, 1 in 10 Londoners now infected. And about to hit the road for a holiday, we'll tell you the cheapest place to fill up with petrol along the way.